my demo tonight is Dane. Dane told me, he said, don't do a bowl, don't do it, or don't do anything, do something spectacular or amazing or different or whatever. And
Yes, I did.
I'm like, well, what can I do? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let me change cameras. What I'm going to do is I have this piece of cracked uh, semi-spalted. It looks like maybe in a few places uh, hackberry, and I'm going to turn a pumpkin box. It's in grain. This is the grain growth you can see maybe, but it is the end grain, and I'm going to turn a pumpkin box, and I'm going to, for lack of a better word, flute it, or at least that's what I'm going to attempt. Attempt being the operative word. Blow my face shield out. Of course, the air compressor chooses now to kick on. All right, face shield on. And that will probably let you hear me better because
we
of my
got you.
earbuds. So is that compressor making too much noise?
No, I don't hear it.
Okay, good. All right, so I got it roughed out and I've got it in my Vicmar chuck with my shark jaws. So I'm not worried about it going anywhere. It is relatively round, not real flat here, but that's okay too. So we'll screw it up. And when you turn something around, even though you think it's everything is, I had it between centers, I rough turned it, I turned it around, I cut the tenon on it, I put it back between centers more or less, except this time in the chuck, but it's still off a little bit. It doesn't matter what you do, how good you are, at least from what I've found, that's what you're going to have. So you're going to have to re-true it. Now, the question we need to ask ourselves with this little pumpkin box, and I've done several of these, but what we need to ask ourselves is, what kind of shape do we want? I'm doing a shear one here. And the hopping is from my cracks. And I'm not worried about the cracks. And we'll find out why after a while. So what we need to ask ourselves is, do I want it to be a relatively round pumpkin, or do I want it to be somewhat squattier? And I'm thinking maybe somewhat squattier. Let me see how good I am here.
Hey.
Check my diameter.
Hold on a second.
Compare that to that. Perfect.
Okay.
See, if I wanted it round, I'd just leave it like it is and go from there. So I want it a little bit squatty. I may change my mind, make it even a little more squatty. I don't know. We'll see. I'll fix you. I was running off the end of my tool rest. I won't now. But I've got a little. Now I could part this off and try to use it for the lid. But I'm not going to worry about that because I already took a cookie off. And I know this is flat. So we might use that for the lid. And I know I made my mark down here. So that's going to give me a mark to shoot for. I'll do the same thing up here. And now I can just start getting the rest of this stuff out of my way. Now, switch to my 40-40. Ooh. I thought it was sharp.
Yeah,
I was wrong.
it'll let you know.
Yep, it did. It did.
If you need to sharpen, go ahead and sharpen, Billy.
Do what?
If you have to sharpen, go ahead and sharpen.
Oh, I am. That's what I'm setting up to do right now. I just didn't have my angle set. I think I did, but I was wrong. All right. That should be a little bit better. It'll be squattier than I had originally intended. But why is that? Well, because I got carried away. That's why.
Oh, it's all good. What kind of wood was that again, Billy?
The kind that likes to frustrate me. Oh no, it's
Ah,
it's hackberry.
okay.
All righty. I have made a mell of a hess of this already.
What size was your round nose scraper there, Billy?
That is a 1.5 inch. I think. Maybe 1.25.
Yeah, I know it's bigger than an inch. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely bigger than an inch. I think it's 1.25. It was dull
That's
too,
good.
if you didn't notice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so what he's doing there is getting rid of his ridges and tool marks, doing a finesse cut
Well,
there.
if I was calm and taking my time with my gouges, which I was not doing,
Uh-huh.
you know, live demo and stuff all the time gets me. Okay. Oh, see that? Y'all didn't say something.
I missed it.
That were a no-no.
I think you're good if you're not wearing Crocs.
No, I'm wearing shoes. You can't see them, but I'm wearing shoes.
Good for you,
I don't
Bill.
wear, I don't wear socks out here. Well, Billy, all right, enter the shul the right way. Gonna do that?
Are you using your 40/40 there?
Yes. And
No more.
all right. Yes, this is another scraper. Bowl scraper. But it works. Don't put that there.
Oh yeah, it's good for doing a cove.
And another scrape. Because I want to get down there a little bit. I picked this little spear point scraper up used at the slot. And I like it.
Yeah, they're a good chuck.
Now I have made this pumpkin a whole lot squattier than I had intended. Because I got all animal on the tools. But not all pumpkins are shaped the same.
No, they're not.
So I have a natural line here that I'm going to follow. So that'll be my first. I'm going to put 6 flutes around this pumpkin. Or at least that's my intent.
Provided you stop it on 6 instead of 7.
My this lathe has 12 index holes. It don't have 14. And I don't know how to do 7. All right. So 6 it is.
Great.
Huh.
Was you able to include that crack as one of the lines?
I am actually this one and that one.
Oh, great. Good job.
That one missed. Now we'll see if my contraption works. Did I demo this once before? I don't think I did.
No, I don't think you did.
Well, I created this monstrosity. It's basically a Harbor Freight palm router that I cut holes in this piece of oak, and then I cut it in half and I screwed it together and it held the palm router. And I thought, well, I can clamp and I tried it, and I can I can make me a template and clamp it to this board, and I can run this around. I didn't have this on, the shield. And I can run it around and I can do all this stuff, right? Well, that didn't work real well because I was running this piece of wood along the template, and that didn't work. So what I needed was some kind of a follower out there. And the other day I got to thinking, well, I can just put this on it. So I had to modify this so that it would fit. I can put the shield back on it, and I can have my depth adjustment, and then I can just use the shield as my depth gauge. So that's what we're going to do. Before I do that, though, I see something that's in my way. So I'm going to gently calm down and breathe, stupid. Get some of this out of my way. That's one way to do it.
Hmm.
That's why you wear a face shield, people.
Yes, sir.
Now, am I worried about all those splinters? No. These over here, not a bit. Because they won't be in the finished piece. Now, the trick is going to be whether or not I have this set where I think I do. We know where that is, and that's not quite there. I need this to go down just a little. Boy, it's close. Ah, it's there.
There you go.
Now, because this is partly in the way, I'm not going to be able to get all the way down, but I can finish that off by hand with my Dremel. You know, because it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to have to do some finalization with some kind of a rotary tool anyway, and clean up and that sort of thing.
Hey, Billy, take your time.
I am.
Watch your router. Grab your router, Billy.
All right. Do this the right way. He says as it's full of dust. I mean, wood shavings.
Yeah, that's why I have tape over mine. Yep.
I'm
Martin
not that
Clarkson
smart.
Martin Clarkson uses the butt of his cigarettes to plug the hole. The
I
filter.
don't smoke.
Yeah, I don't smoke either. Only when I'm on fire.
You know, this is what I like least about this lathe.
Oh, I hear you.
I was laying awake the other night thinking, how can I? There. Now I know moves. I was laying awake at night the other night thinking, how can I create a thing that'll screw down in there and have a spring lock like on my 3520? I mean, on my 2014.
You let me know when you come up with a contraption for that.
What we're going to have here is an extra wide groove. Because it didn't follow. But again, I can fix it when we get down to
When you're carving your lines in, Billy, how deep are you going with the router?
I have a V groove. And I don't think it's a 90 degree. It's probably an 80 or a 75. And I'm going just over an eighth of an inch.
Okay, right on. Thank you.
and I'm going all the way to the field. Of course, it's too tight to turn. You know, they make, I think somebody makes a commercial fluting jig. It would probably be a whole lot easier to use than my setup.
No, but this is great. It shows that you know that it can be done like this without
But I'm
you know a
cheap and
product.
stubborn.
There are also some fixtures you could download and 3D print if you're so
Y'all have
inclined.
noticed. But when I first started moving this, I was cutting from here over and it wanted to ride up because I was fighting the direction of the cutter
Right.
instead of fighting over here like I should have in the first place.
Well, it only took you three grooves.
So see, y'all get to see all my oh, come on. It lets me turn it 3 turns and then says, nope.
You could make a jig that has a pin that goes into the little openings on the back end of your chuck.
Yes.
He needs
I
it to
have
be
one. The pin
solid.
I have is a little smaller than that. So it would have a little bit of play.
Yeah, it needs to be. That spindle's got to be locked down. No chance of movement. So that's what he's doing here.
Yeah, a while ago I was just sticking the Allen wrench that was close enough in the hole and it still had a little movement and I didn't want that. Come on.
You're getting kudos on your setup, Billy.
Well, thank you. It's it's a piece of melamine that I had. And a piece of 1-inch motorcycle handlebar that I had that I cut up because it had a straight length on it. And that's what's in the banjo. I'll flip this table over and show you how I've got it mounted in a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Now I'm
getting
going to
that
redo
end
that
grain.
one. That's the first one that I did when before I had it logged down good. I don't know how that one looks off, but it does. Maybe because I had too much clay in it to start with. Come on. That's probably just what it is. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's cutting better now.
Okay.
You're off that end grain.
And that one we will fix with the Dremel. It's just going to be a little deeper or a little wider. But that's okay. I've never seen a perfect pumpkin either.
No, I haven't. Even the ones, for the big pumpkin contest, for the largest weight and everything, majority of them don't even look like a pumpkin.
Oh, no. No, they're not even any close.
No, they're gaudy
Okay.
looking.
Lift my face shield up for a minute. Get this up. So see, 1-inch motorcycle handlebars, all it is.
Oh, nice.
3 pieces of scrap Corian that are epoxied. Well, they're CA'd together and they're epoxied to this board. And I ran a screw. I drilled and ran a screw through here into the handlebar, and I made sure that this was 90 degrees. So this handle is 90 degrees to the bed waist.
Toenail
Or this-
it with the screw. Okay.
This tool rest,
Yeah, it
if
looks
you
like a
will.
solid setup.
So it works. And it would, if I was doing, say, a long vase, it would work even better using this little setup. And you could either put, and in whatever kind of bit you have, I chose to use this bit. You can see how far it's sticking out.
Right.
Not very far. But you could use a round bit, a core box bit, a cove bit. For that matter, even a up or down cut fluted spiral. But
Yeah.
whatever kind of bit you want to put in here, you can.
Right.
It just
Yeah,
depends
you can
on,
even use a dovetail bit.
yeah, that would be
You
kind of
can
fun.
use you can use any bit. Darn near. Just not edge profiling bits.
Right. Well, now, you don't want to put a bit with a
Roman ogie.
no, you don't want to put a bit with a bearing on it for sure.
No.
All right, can I get you out now? Thank you. All right. For what I'm going to do now, I can go back to my Allen key, because all we're going to do, ooh, that's a nasty tear out right there. Wonder how I did that. So now what I'm going to do, I bought a package of bits for my Dremel. And then I misplaced it and couldn't find it. So I ordered another package. But they look like this. They're just different carbide bits, different shapes.
I think I have the same set.
And they work great.
Same box. Yeah. Same
So
packaging.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this one that's got a little round on it all the way around. So it's round nosed and it's round this way. That was brilliant. And I'm going to commence to drop the wrench into the shavings. Yay! Luckily, it was on top.
Hey, Billy, after your demo, I'll talk about the spindle lock for your lathe. Powermatic makes a retrofit for your lathe.
Hallelujah. Okay, so now, because we couldn't get deep enough, we're going to have to do this by. But I drew the line, so all you have to do is kind of roughly follow those lines.
Nope, your head's in the way.
What?
Your face shield's in the way. We can't see. There we go.
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I know the struggle.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, all of us know the struggle for heads getting in the way when we demo.
I don't need to go much further than that because we're gonna hollow it out one of these days. I do want to go down a little bit on the bottom. Try to smooth some of this up a little bit.
This is a great little project here. Something that'll make folks wonder, how did you turn that on the lathe?
Well, I always thought the same thing as when I see a food bake or bowl or
Right?
uh, now some of you may be wondering, how in the world is he going to stand all that up?
Well, it's a pumpkin. They're not smooth. Not all of them.
No, they are not smooth. That is going to go to the inside. So this box is going to have a crack in it. I'm quite sure. Now here's the fun part. What are you going to do now, Willis?
I don't know, Willis.
I'm going to punch. So how the rest of you fix mistakes that y'all made? on your own. You know, I mean, you got things you're working on, and you caused the problem. You didn't mean to, but you caused the problem. Well, you can either scrap it and start over, or you can choose to try and find a solution. Now, what I don't want to do when I'm hollowing the inside of this is make the inside bigger than the outside. Because then you have a full enough side. So what I will probably do, because I'm going to dye this something orange, what I will probably do is come back in here with touches of brown in all of these. That one's just a little big, but you know, sometimes that's the way it goes.
Too bad you didn't break out that flex grinder for this.
But you mean that was sitting over there in the box that I keep forgetting I have?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's the exact one. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's sitting right over there.
Uh-huh.
Wiseacre. Okay. No, I may not be done with you yet. Now, I am not going to spend a great deal of time smoothing that up. I will spend a little. Basically, what I'm doing now is just smoothing over the rough edges and the sharp edges.
How many RPM you are operating that Dremel at?
About 20.
That's about 20,000.
I just don't want any sharp corners here. That's why I'm doing this. And the sander, or this little drum sander, barrel sander, is a lot easier to control than that carbide tool. Well, look at her.
Look at that.
It comes off. And if you don't want to do it that way, because I don't want to have to bother taking the time to put another drum on it. I've worn that one out. You can do it this way. Does the same thing. Need that soft pad on there though. Quit eating my sandpaper. Well, that chewed the Velcro up on that one. But I got some more.
Yeah, sandpaper is cheap.
Do what, Dane?
Once it Sandpaper is cheap. Once it clogs up and stops cutting, it's time to change it.
Yeah, well, it didn't clog. It was just not sticking to the Velcro anymore. And that happens if you're running this too fast or sanding too fast and build up too much heat. That Velcro won't like it. Okay. Now I will turn my dust collector on. Forgot I had the blast gate at the bandsaw open. And we'll stand this just like we do anything else. I'm running about 600.
Do you have your drill in reverse or forward?
I do not have my drill in reverse.
If you put it in reverse, it'll come better.
You don't like running in reverse, it backs off.
Yeah,
But
you could always do the lathe in reverse.
when I'm running forward, I'm using the bottom of the pad. And when I'm running in reverse, I use the top of the pad.
Hey, look at that.
And any little blemishes that you have, you can just concentrate on. But this is
Looking good, Billy.
do what?
I said it's looking good.
I guess. I think it looks like crap, but that's just me.
No, you're doing fine.
Okay. That was 80. Now 120. Oh, bad. That's something. That other one was too, but it was from the wrong batch. And sleep fit. probably not going to use anything else because I'm gonna dye it. That may look pretty cool dyed up.
Oh, it's going to once you start slapping some color on it.
This is when my wife fusses at me. Why didn't you wear gloves?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was dyeing last night and one of my fingers is still got the purple dye in it. Gloves get in the way.
Her gloves were for sissies. Now, if before I put the final finish on this, when it's all said and done, if I'm not happy with some of that accent inside here, this is just a brown dye and stuff. If I'm not happy with that, I can go in with any. I've got 4 or 5 different colors of brown marker that I can go in and I can add streaks or whatever. Now, I know this looks red, but it's tangerine. And it dries more orange than it looks like.
No, it's coming through like a coral color right now, but I definitely understand what you mean by when it dries. Yeah, it's looking spot on.
I'm just being sloppy and throwing it on because it will be, when it's all said and done, it will look streaked anyway, just like a real pumpkin, I hope. Because pumpkins are streaked and variegated. And like I said, with my markers, I can go back and I can finesse anything I want to finesse before I put the final finish on. Now, with something that's as cracked and split as this, you have to ask yourself, well, do you want to seal those or not? And right now, I'm leaning towards not. But it depends. And one of the things I like about this is, especially doing it end grain, you see how that dye made all that grain just pop?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the beauty of dye. Taking a
I mean,
nondescript
it
piece
just
of wood.
That didn't look that pretty before I dyed it.
No, no, it looked like trash. Yeah, I like that, Billy.
So that's what we're going for. And now that brown, because it was a weak mix, looks more yellow than brown.
And what kind of dye are you using, Billy?
Rit.
Right on. That's what I use.
Yeah, the tangerine is straight out of the bottle.
Yep.
And I diluted the brown, and I diluted it too much, I think. But because it looks more yellow. But I will go back in with brown and black markers, and we'll striate that up some. Striate? Wow, throwing all kinds of big words out.
Yeah.
So now, what I want to do, now what I want to do is part that knob off. And then we will maybe hollow, maybe not. We'll probably do some hollowing. Don't forget the face shield, stupid. Okay, face shield up. And then we wind on this forever. The newer paramedics have those Acme threads. It's a whole lot faster. La da da. Well, you wouldn't have to wind it so far if you didn't have it out so far, stupid. Yeah, I know. Now what I'm gonna do, I bought this off of
Nice.
Amazon not long ago. It's around 3/4 of an inch. It's not exact. It's some weird something or another. That's a perfect mark. So it wasn't terribly expensive. And
Nice dedicated Morse paper drill.
it works great.
Yep.
I loves it.
Yep. Way better than the Forstner bit.
Well, and that's all I'm going to use, and I'm going to start hollowing. So, but like always, you want to keep your hand on it, especially when you're pulling it out. Well, Billy, you didn't put a dimple in that before you started drilling it. You're right, I didn't. I think that's far enough. So I was messing with the settings on my uh, VFD day for yesterday. Came over here to turn something, turned the lathe on, it didn't do nothing. Like, oh crap, what I screw up. But I got it. I got it taken care of. But it will not, I don't care, I've not found any way to get this thing to do what the old one did. And with the rheostat turned all the way down, or the potentiometer, that's where it does. That's the lowest I can get. It don't stop, and that's at 20 RPM. And when you touch it to bump it up at all, it jumps to at least 50. So I don't know. All right. Now I have to decide, how big do I want the opening of this box? I started to say, Dane, where'd you put my pencil?
Well, it should have a magnet on it. It should be on your
So
headstock.
I'm thinking maybe right there. I am. Let's start there. And give it an eyeball. Sure. I've been watching too much Richard Rappin.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I was funneling him last night when I was using the scraper.
Well, I mean, it is ingrained, so why not?
Right?
All right, there's part of my lid. You know, but before I'd been trying to get in here with my bowl gouge or something and knock that out, but this is so much faster. You just don't want to grab too much at once. Billy, don't you have any other way of doing that besides the scrape? Yeah, I do. Because the scraper isn't going to let me get in here. How far above center am I cutting? Oh, and y'all can't see a single thing I'm doing.
No, it's all good. We saw a little bit of hollowing
Yeah,
last week, so it's all good.
Show more of your tool, Billy, so people can see it.
Okay, well, this is the tool I'm using. This is a Jimmy Clues Mate one, I think. It's not stamped on it, and I always forget. It's got a 6mm cutter on it, the Hunter Pro, and I love it. The only problem is that I can't zoom this camera in, but at least you can see a little more of what I'm doing.
Billy, are you using vMix?
Stepped in what?
Are you using vMix to manage your cameras?
No.
Okay, never mind then.
OBS Studio. All right, I'm gonna try to stay out of y'all's way if I can.
You're doing fine. It's hollowing. It's just, unless you're turning it from the opposite side, it's kind of hard to get a full action on it.
Ooh. Okay, that ain't bad. It is all the way through right there, though. So it's going to end up with about I don't know, somewhere between just over a quarter, maybe a quarter. Well, keep your hip off the start-stop button, stupid. No, that ain't gonna work. That might.
Are you going to, Billy, are you going to try and hollow it out? That way the grooves show?
I don't want it to get so deep that the groove show. I
Okay.
mean, I don't want to. They are
Okay.
here regardless. Nothing I can do about that one.
Nope. No, it's all good. Put a little lantern light in there. Look really, really great.
Well, I thought about coming back in later and actually making the jack-o'-lantern out of it, but we'll see.
No, this is great. This is great, Billy. Keep at it. You're doing a good job. Thank you so much. Brenda, that's the type of tool rest you need that you were talking about earlier. That's a box tool rest.
Yes, actually, I have the tool rest, but I don't have the post to fit my lathe and that tool rest.
Oh, oh, I see.
I can't find the combo.
No, Brenda, Scott showed us last year how to make a post using a piece of 1-inch steel. So your
Yes.
5/8 tool rest
Yeah.
will fit.
It was on one of the tips and tricks, Brenda, from summer or fall 2023.
What size is your post, Brenda?
1 inch.
Go to Harbor Freight and buy the bolt. And then tap put a hole in it and tap it for this thing.
As long as it's schedule 8.
Yeah, they have them. They got schedule 8.
Right, right. That's the ones that we can do on the lathe. Totally
Brenda,
solid.
Give me a call sometime. I'll tell you how to make one.
Yep,
That's what
there
I
you
was
go.
thinking.
Yep, get it from the straight source.
Next time I got 10 hours to spare.
Right. Don't do it anymore this week because I'm busy.
It won't take you 10 hours, trust me.
Yeah, it will.
Phone
Oh.
call to Scott is 10 hours.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
6 hours, right, Dane?
Yes. What? No, it was like 7.
Yeah, almost 7 hours the other night.
Yeah, shoot, even when I talk with Brenda, it's 3-4 hours.
Now you're making
Right,
it
Brenda?
sound like I'm the one that talks too much.
No, I think we're trying to confirm that we talk too much.
Uh,
Common denominator, LCD. Which ties into my math question that I posted on the group page. Everybody better at math since they started turning?
No.
Yayins are. You just don't realize it. Billy, you're doing a great job there. That looks good.
Now, Dane, I've been math abled my entire life. This is just application of stuff I learned in grade school.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I know why. You dummy. I had a dimple. And I didn't like it. I don't have no
Bumping.
dimple no more.
Yeah, it was bumping your tool off.
Do what?
Yeah, the dimple was bumping your tool off that you're using there.
Right.
Hitting the curve on the swan neck.
They're a little high.
It's always nice to hear another turner call themselves a dummy. I do that all the time when I'm turning.
I mess with my emotions and I call myself a beautiful dummy. That a way, it's a
Yeah,
little positive.
right. Yeah, amen, Doug. Amen.
Do you tiptoe through your shop when you do that?
Sometimes, well, it depends on the shoes that I have on.
That was
I
for
think when I'm wearing heels, I have to. Yes.
Yes, yeah,
Only
especially you,
Doug.
Doug.
Only Doug.
Yeah, I saw that one coming.
Right. As long as they ain't got that leotard on, we're all good.
Yeah, I'm at depth. I need to take a little bit out right in through here.
Just be careful. Sometimes you get these visions and they never go away. So the thing about the leotard, let's just pass that up.
At least it's not a bikini, Eddie.
No, I missed you
Yeah,
guys.
okay, now we're really in trouble.
Thanks, Matt.
Get off my tool rest.
I'm gonna go back to those dreams again.
Happy to help, Scott. Happy to help.
I just got that image out of my brain. Now I got to go get some more brain bleach.
Yeah, good luck on that.
Bleach.
I'm about to dig my eyeball out with a spoon just thinking about Doug Rowe and his leotards.
Why did that image come to all of us at one time? Why?
Well, because it's emblazoned.
Yes.
It's not only is it short-term memory, but it's also long-term memory. We just can't escape it.
Okie Smoky.
Look at that. What a great project.
Do a little smoothing. Is it hot in here? Or is it just me?
Just you, brother.
Aha! Aha! I'm gonna have some fixing to do, folks. Uh-oh. Remember what I told you about making the inside bigger than the outside?
Switch your camera.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. Well, that was inevitable. I mean,
Rule 747A.
it's gonna get.
Yep.
Here we go, Eddie. Yep.
Looks like a feature to me. Looks like a feature.
Looks like the pumpkin's rotting from the outside in.
That is
kind of do, don't it? And there's this crack went a little deep right there. I knew this one was going to go, but I didn't realize it was going to go that much.
But really, Billy, you know what it looks like? It looks like the brown area that you painted looks like the pulp of a pumpkin.
Yep.
It's perfect.
That right there is a
So-
pump you could take to church on Sunday because it is holy.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
It looks cool though. I like it. I agree.
Well, I
It
kind of
makes it
do
look
too.
more
What
real.
I'll do is I will take my Dremel tool and I will smooth this up again and re-dye it.
I'd be prone to go ahead and finish hollowing it and expose everything.
It is finished. It's hollow. It is at depth, and I'm at a 1/4 inch here, a 1/4 inch here, maybe 3/8 right here, but I don't want to take it any smaller.
Okay, yeah.
But it's hollow. All I need to do is smooth the lip up where the lid's gonna sit on the inside because my tool bounced and chewed it up. So I need to true that up a little bit. And I need to sand the inside, which won't be that big a deal. And I need to turn a lid for it and I've already cut a stem for the lid. So it will be crooked already because I just took a piece of something I had outside and cut it off. And so I'm going to just glue it in the top, turn a mortise for it, glue it in the top, and it'll have a crooked little stem on it. And I may
Very
dye
cool.
that green. So a lot of work. I've still got a little work to do off camera, not a whole lot. Little work to do off camera, mainly sanding the inside of this up, and y'all don't want to watch me do that because you would be able to see it anyway. And just smoothing this lip up a little bit. And that's no big deal either. It won't take long. Well, I can do that right now. So, if you chew your lip up when you're turning something,
Always
it's
clean it up.
really not that difficult to go back in. Now I have this scraper round at a negative rate. You can barely see the back grind over here. It doesn't need to be much and it doesn't need to be excessive. Now, some people poo-poo negative rate scrapers. I'm not one of them. If you use a using a standard scraper, if I was using it, I would either have it set up on its side or I would have it up at an angle because you don't want to just jam this into the tool. But with a negative rake, it's a little more forgiving. And see those whiffs I'm getting off of there?
Yep.
If you're applying any more pressure to a scraper than that, without experiencing what a scraper can do, then you're pushing too hard. That applies to these as much as anything else. These are not negative rate, so they need to be presented instead of coming flat in. They need to be presented with the handle up just a touch. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really grabby. And if you're hollowing an in-grain box like I just was with this scraper and you're going straight in, you're begging for a catch. And at that point, it's either going to twist the tool, twist it out of your hand, throw it across the shop, twist it out of your hand, throw it at you, or it's going to break this thing out of the chuck. One of the two, three. for. Anyway, whatever happens, it ain't good.
Right.
So make sure you know how to correctly approach your piece with your tool. That's the most important thing. Now, you've seen me tonight because when I was roughing this thing out, I got really, really aggressive with that 5/8 inch bowl gouge. A little too aggressive. That was my bad. That's on me. I did that because I was trying to hurry for the sake of the demo, and I was doing something or about to do something that I've never done before, and that was use this setup that I've modified yesterday. I hadn't used it before. I didn't practice with it, nothing. So I was a little nervous. And because things often go awry when I do a demo, I was a little tepid about that as well. I mean, I ain't done a demo yet that went smooth as I wanted it to go.
This one went smooth. No blow ups, no catches.
I'm happy with this one.
Yeah, I am too.
After I settled down, after I forced myself and told myself, Billy, calm down, breathe.
Yes.
Then I was okay. But that's for that first little bit. I was. So this mistake back here, that big groove right there, that was supposed to be a small groove like the rest of them.
But it works.
Adapt and overcome.
Yes.
Adapt and overcome. This wasn't supposed to, well, it was going to be about this same squatty, but it was going to be a little more round over here in the back. But my gouge got the better of me. Well, my nerves got the better of my gouge. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
And so, but you adapt and overcome. I do like the way that die looks on that grain, though. Man, it makes it pop.
Yeah, it does. It looks great. I don't have any tangerine. I'll have to get some.
They didn't have orange when I bought this at Walmart.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Check your if you got Kroger's. Kroger's
they didn't have orange, but a bottle of this will last you forever.
Oh, I know.
They had tangerine, so that's what I bought. They do have lemon yellow. I like it. I use it a lot, especially as on something that I'm doing. I'll do maybe an overcoat with it, similar basically to how Martin Saban Smith will overcoat with his honey. And it creates a neat effect in some places. Anyway.
That's great, Billy.